everyone, good morning. Stephanie Denman here from the Denman Homestead. And I'm at the rental and I'm by myself today because Buddy had to go back to work after his spring break. And I've got several boxes here of flooring. I've opened up, I guess, about 6 boxes and laid them out, kind of mixing and matching, because when you do flooring like this, you really need to make sure that you open up several boxes so that you're not grabbing one specific pattern or color scheme, because even though it's the same type of flooring and the same brand of flooring and the same name of the flooring, sometimes when they have those lots that just mass produce this flooring, several patterns will get put in one box. So you really want to just grab from different piles as you're installing them. I have knee pads on. I just took 3 ibuprofen. It's 8:45 in the morning and my back already hurts. So, and for those of you that are not caught up to speed on why we're putting in new flooring, the flooring in here was roll-out vinyl, and it was builder, just like the cheapest stuff the builder could put in this house. And it has been ripped and unglued and in really poor condition after our tenant moved out. Keep in mind, this was a brand new home when we purchased it, and the flooring did not hold up to a renter. So we're hoping with this upgraded luxury plank vinyl that it will be a little bit better. We have that in our own home. We live on a farm and we installed it 12 years ago and it's still holding up. So hopefully with this type of flooring, it'll be better for renters. So, and better for us in the long run. That's what I'm hoping, fingers crossed. So I'm gonna get going, I'm gonna get started. I'm gonna start on this long wall here, and then eventually I'll move out the refrigerator and just keep going and making my cuts as I go along into the kitchen. I'll update you periodically. Pray for my back and my knees. All right, it's been 4 hours, and this is the progress I've made. This is where we're at. I know it doesn't seem like much, but the longest part is when you get around the appliances and the nooks. Like if I could just keep on going straight, it would be no problem. But you have to pull out this and then go back and work your way out, and then you have to meet up with the other planks and cut it just right so it continuously flows. Like for example here, I'm gonna have to come out in the pantry, and then I'm gonna have to come out over here and meet up around this corner with one long plank and make it look seamless as I work my way that way and go around this little edge as well. So it's all a angles game, and it takes much longer when you run into these types of little nooks and crannies. But when we get to this open space, this will be fast and furious for the most part until we hit, of course, the bedrooms and the hallways and stuff like that. But that's what's taken me a little bit longer, is making sure all the cuts are right and done correctly. That's the update. Okay, here's where I'm stopping at day 1. I have almost completed the living room, dining room area. I would continue to go, but I need to make a cut in that corner, and it's dark outside and I really don't want to bother people around here who are trying to get ready for dinner and sleep with my saw. Buddy helped me today. He came here on his lunch break, and he helped me get behind and do this whole area. He shoved this forward and got all that done. You could push those back. And right now he is working on a window because for whatever reason, somehow, some way, these little tracks that hold your window up from falling down, you probably don't even know that they exist, but they go in this little groove. If you don't have them, your window just falls. And for whatever reason, the previous tenant, one was missing. So the window was all wonky. So Buddy is now replacing.
The one that they sent us doesn't have near as long of a hook, and that's what I'm struggling with right now.
Oh.
It just won't grab in that hole.
The edge of this spring with the string on it has a hook, and that hook fits into that hole and grabs. So I guess the one that we got isn't very grabby.
No, it came flat, so I was like trying to bend it.
Right. But that's what we're working on now before we go back to the house. Tomorrow I will pick up where I left off and hopefully make it into bedrooms. I don't know how far I'm gonna be able to get because we haven't talked about this yet, but almost half of our order was missing for when we placed our order for flooring. They just did not deliver 20 boxes. So we're missing a lot of boxes. So I'll get I'll probably finish off the boxes that I have tomorrow, just in time for hopefully the new boxes to arrive and I can finish where I left off. Good morning. It is day 2 of flooring in the rental. I just got here. I am so sore. Every part of my body except for the top of my head hurts, like my fingers, my hips, my knees, even with the knee pads. Like, flooring is no joke. Flooring and sheetrock are probably the most labor intensive that works your whole body, like your core, to get it, like, just to be on your hands and knees and like pulling, and I swear my trap muscles, my traps are gonna be like Hulk style at the end of all of this. But yeah, this is day 2. I think day 2 is gonna be full of cuts. Like, we have this, I was pretty spoiled with this amount of open space. Did have plenty of cuts in the bathroom, in the kitchen area around the appliances and pantry and laundry room, but for the most part, this is gonna be the most open area that we have. What's gonna be a lot of cutting is going through these doorways and transitioning into the bedrooms, and then especially in the bathroom around the toilet and the sink, bathtub. So one thing that's gonna be a little bit of a challenge that I'm going to have to just figure out, which I kind of did already in the kitchen with the oven and the pantry, is I'm gonna take this flooring and we're gonna go through this little doorway, right? This little entryway here, and move our way in. But I'm gonna have to strategically come into one of the bedrooms, flow it through here, but also make it to where I have to start in the back of the closet and move it into, like, I can't, you basically have to start on one wall and move in, right? So the way that they click together and work together, you can't really work backwards. So I'm gonna have to move in and then make sure that they match up as they meet. Does that make sense? Like, around this little door. So that's gonna be, gosh, I'm so sore even holding this phone. Even holding this phone up is like burning. So that's gonna be a little bit of a challenge in all of the rooms. But I did do it successfully, for example, in the pantry and where the oven was and everything, because I had to take in this flooring all the way down here and then had to start back on this wall and move up and knead it so it's seamlessly flowing through. Now, just so you're aware, we are doing quarter round. We're coming back and gonna do quarter round around all of the baseboards. So the rough cuts that you see where they're kind of jagged against the edge of the baseboards, all of that's gonna be covered and look really nice and clean with the quarter round. So that's the second phase after all the flooring is laid. So, and I think the quarter round is supposed to be delivered today because we got an incorrect delivery the first time around. It was half round. We had like a box of 54 pieces of half round, which is not what I ordered, but that's what was delivered. It was this whole big mess, but I had to reorder the quarter round, and I think it's supposed to be delivered today. So fingers crossed we get the right product delivered this time. And I'm still missing 20 boxes of flooring. It's just been a whole thing. Good morning. Day 3 of flooring. Yesterday I feel like barely anything done, and I was here again for a long time, 12 hours. And let me show you what I got done. So I finished this all the way down because there was just a little strip, and then I got to right here in the doorway. And then let me show you what took most of my day. It was this whole little area, because I needed to make sure that going through this doorway and this hallway and then through this doorway and into there would all be seamless. And there were a ton of different angled cuts and maneuvers and trying to get this one full board to go around this and then slide in and that way. But then yesterday I started working like towards the end of the day. Remember, I don't know if I told you guys, but it's difficult. So when you come in this way, I brought this board in, and then I had to move backwards into the closet. And so that's what I was working on up until about 8 o'clock last night. And that's it, really. Just this strip took me alone 12 hours, which is crazy. But the good news is my dad and mom are coming today to help me with flooring. And at least they can start here with basically an easy space. The only thing I need to do over here is, I did my measurements last night, but it was too late. It was too dark to cut. So I did that. And it's funny because I bought this tool for Kim. Me and Buddy bought this tool for Kim years ago for Christmas. And it's a pretty nifty tool. And basically what it is, it has a little locking mechanism on the end. If you've never seen these before, it comes in handy with flooring for sure. But you basically just reset it all the way to the end. And then when you need to make specialized cuts to get as close as you can to like toilets, sinks, door frames, you just basically, I'm gonna try to do it with one hand, you shove it up against, here, let's go up here with it. You shove it up against your thing, and I'm gonna have to use my finger, but I'm gonna press in on these little, so you just press against these little orange toggles, you get it nice and tight and snug, and then you lock it in place with a little lever, pull it away, and it gives you the exact curvature of the board. So you can trace this design on your board and make the cut, which is what I did right here. So when I go to lay this board down, I can get it as close as I can to the edge and click it in place, and it eliminates the need of a whole bunch of thick caulk or to cover it with a bunch of quarter round or whatever. So this tool, I borrowed it back from Kim. She was gracious enough to let me use it. I might need to get my own now. But, so this is coming handy for sure. All right, well, they should be here any minute, and we're expecting a strong line of storms. So before they got here, I set this up, and it's raining. Set this up here, so hopefully we won't have too bad of wind, but we're gonna be doing all of our cutting under this Easy Up, this pop-up tent, because we were in the backyard, but this has a more level surface for the tent, and we can just come right out here and go back inside with it. But so I set up this pop-up, this Easy Up tent, which is not really easy up by yourself, but I did it. Whew, already 8 a.m. and I'm sweating and got a good workout in just by setting all this up. All right, well, I guess while I wait for them, I'm gonna go ahead and start unboxing more flooring and yeah, get set up. Okay, I just want to show you what it looks like after I made that cut that I was showing you. So see how it looks really snug up against here? Now let me show you what it would have looked like had we not made that cut and just used like, oh, well, it looks like you could just use a flat board right there. And you can, and maybe some people would, but because I'm a little, I don't know. I just feel like this, if I were to caulk this in this just white square area, it just wouldn't, to me, look as clean. I don't know, maybe that's just me. Maybe no one would even notice, but I prefer it to have a little bit of a, let me get this locked in here with one hand. Okay, there it goes. Sometimes you gotta get both hands in there to get it in there. And you probably can't even tell the difference, but I can. And that's what matters.
Okay, we are on the home stretch at the rental property. And Steph has been there. I obviously had to go back to work this whole week. Alora ended up with strep throat this week. She wasn't feeling good, so I was spending my time going. Luckily, Steph was able to just focus on the rental property and knock out as much as she could. Her mom and dad, again, huge help, came and helped with the flooring. But I was spending my time at work and then coming home, taking care of Alora, going back, helping Steph for a little bit, coming back, checking on Alora. Like, it's been a week, and I thought that during my spring break was a week, and it was, but this has also been a week too, mostly for Steph. I mean, she's put in so many hours, that rental property, doing the flooring, but we're at the home stretch. I mean, we are getting to the point to where flooring is right there, and trim starts next, and then some paint on the trim, and we're done. We can list it, feel amazing about it, and yeah, I mean, just improve the quality of everything in the house. So it's been a lot. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye, everyone.
On the Denman homestead, where the sun sets golden in the west, we live in harmony with nature, doing what we love best. From the garden to the kitchen, and the bees inside their hive. On the Denman homestead, come along and plant, nourish, thrive.